All right, everybody. So, you're going to hear a lot of really, really important stories today from people that have different life experiences. But one thing that I think we all can understand, going back in time, 2015, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders fighting about bold policies. And what did Hillary say? It's pie in the sky. It's pie in the sky. How are you going to pay for it, Bernie? And unfortunately, no one really learned the lesson. People ignored the comments. They ignored the economics. They ignored the MMT struggle, or modern monetary theory struggle. Now here we are in 2022, 7 years after the great opportunity to really expose to people the big lie that stands in the way not only of Medicare for All, but of a Green New Deal. Because, folks, we're facing more than one crisis right now, aren't we? We can't get sidetracked on one thing. That's why state-by-state solutions are such a joke. We can't get stuck in other things because we still got the environment to worry about. Can you imagine the tsunami coming through and you're like, yes, I got my Medicare for All, right? See, we got to walk and chew gum. And this is a big problem because we can't unite. Because we're busy being told by people that are doing pretty damn good. Vote blue, vote for Summer, vote for Pedro, right? We're all in this weird dichotomy of there is no alternative. It must be this, it can't be that. And if you say anything, you're divisive, you're this, you're that, oh, you're mean. Oh my God, did you hear how Steve said that on his live stream? Oh my God, he's such a meanie. But let me tell you something. If you don't understand that the United States government, literally by law, Article 1, Section 8 of your U.S. Constitution, says that only Congress has the power of the purse. That means not rich people, not taxpayer dollars, which is a Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan lie to keep us all locked in purgatory. But how many of you all know lefties that are out there preaching the good word of Ronald Reagan and Maggie Thatcher going, my hard-earned tax dollars, my hard-earned tax dollars, right? It's not a real thing. And this is super, super, super important because the state-by-staters are running around telling everyone we can have all these things, but states can't create currency. And so what happens when rich people find out that you're going to raise their taxes to pay for the poor's? They leave. They have done it everywhere. They take their businesses, they move them to Texas, right? There's no taxes down there. Let's go to Texas. And Texas got a big sign up there saying, hey, come on down here. We'll headquarter you. And you see Amazon saying, well, I'm not putting my headquarters in your backyard if you don't give me a sweetheart tax deal. So what do? They literally drain the bottom out of the tax base of the states and the local communities. They literally rob the school systems to afford these things. But yeah, sure, let's do Medicare state by state. Let's do it. What a biff idea, right? See, this is the problem when we're going with good ideas instead of economic knowledge. Right now, at the most important point in this battle, we've got the Federal Reserve mixed with Congress and Joe Biden talking to us about how we're going to raise interest rates to stop inflation that is caused by gouging, monopoly price setting, fuel shortages, etc. All of these things, every last one of them is man-made. Not one of them is something from on high where, oh my God, they printed money and therefore we have inflation. That is a loser's mindset. That is a lie and is completely fabricated. The fact of the matter is that when we tax at the federal level, we delete the money. Folks, if you don't take anything away from what I'm telling you today, remember this. Congressional spending is the birth of a dollar. Congressional taxation is the death of a dollar. Dollars don't live forever. And so there's a circuit that goes on. Now, why does this matter? Because as you try to fight for Medicare for all, as we try to fight for Medicare for all, as we fight for our own salvation with the Green New Deal, which, by the way, includes Medicare for all, okay? And we talk about canceling student debt. Or more importantly, we talk to African Americans and talk about reparations. This is a lot of freaking money, isn't it? Where is it going to come from? Oh, my God. The same stinking place that all the money comes from war, the same place it comes from for emergency funds for Ukraine, the same place it comes for military stuff for Israel, the same place it comes for every stinking thing that we do. So instead of talking about taxpayer dollars, I beseech you, change your vocabulary. Let's talk about the public money. Let's talk about our money. Let's talk about our access to the general welfare. Let's talk about the public purpose. Folks, Joe Biden, the person that every sack of dung tried to push on us, that guy literally is celebrating deficit reduction right now. Deficit reduction is the draining of the bathtub. The money that keeps us afloat, that keeps us going, while simultaneously the rich bastards are making money on interest rate hikes. And at the same time, exacerbating the wealth gap. They're getting richer, we're getting poor, we're paying more for gas, paying more for food, paying more for everything. Not because it has to be that way, but because we are in a neoliberal era that started in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, now in the 2020s. It's time for lefties and good people of all stripes to recognize federal taxes do not fund spending, period. I've said it now. I said it at Malcolm X Park back at the first rally when we did it at Occupy inauguration. I said it then. I've been saying this stuff, folks, for over 15 years. I'm asking you all, be a force multiplier. Tell your friends we can afford anything that we have the resources to afford, period. There is no shortage. But if you try to do this at a state level, and the states go belly up, or there's a downturn in the economy, the states can't create money to absorb that. If there's a pandemic, the states can't absorb that. So this is why it's so important. It's not that's just some weird accounting thingy that Grumbine guy talks about. This is the silver bullet to beating the living shit out of the neoliberal class, okay? MMT is freedom, it is hope. Because I can do a Green New Deal. I understand MMT, modern monetary theory, Stephanie Kelton, Warren Mosler, Bill Mitchell, L. Randall Wray, Pavlina Chernova, real progressives, macro and cheese, Jeffrey Ginter, okay? This whole gang, we understand that without an understanding of public money, every single thing that you and I want, we're going to be moralizing. Oh, it's just such a good fight. We tried. We really tried. It was another time we did really well. We had the best signs. We had the best chance. We went out there. It was so cool, but nothing happened. No demands, no credible threat, no nothing. This is why we must organize without the taint of political parties, which is what makes this beautiful. Everybody looks at me like I'm saying don't vote. How do you pass a bill without voting? How does anything get done? These people are bought and paid for. So you're not going to win just by casting a vote. They've already told you they're not going to. It's things like this, but not just one-offs. It's things like this coupled with interrelating with other groups, literally putting the economics first, not last, first, because the gateway drug to fixing all of our problems, okay? Let's get on a proper economic discussion, because everything that we want, you'd say, hey, let's follow the money. Well, if you follow the money, you understand Congress passes a bill. That bill is sent to the president for signature. The president signs it, sends it over to the Federal Reserve, who then in turn debits the Treasury's accounts, and then money is spent. No tax dollars were ever involved. Not one nickel of tax dollar ever. Not for war, not for abortion, not for Medicare for All, not for nothing. However, the big thing you need to keep an eye on is this, and I know it's hard if you're not used to thinking this way, and I'm asking you a lot. I'm pushing you beyond the norm. Privatization is the devil. Privatization is the devil. And Joe Biden is trying to privatize Medicare right now, not in some other far off land, right now. And the people that said they were going to pull him left are busy at brunch, okay? They're busy talking about blue waves. They're not busy fighting for Medicare for all. They're not busy doing any of the things for the people. So I'm telling you this. I drove here 3 hours from Pennsylvania. I live right down the street from this young lady, and I'm here to tell you it was worth every second, because if you guys can walk away from here, if you can walk away from here and say, let me look into this modern monetary theory thing. It's so important, because guess what Medicare for All actually is? It's deflationary, meaning if we've got inflation, if we were to pass Medicare for All, hey, it might be a solution to your inflation problem too. But alas, you got to know that to fight for that. If you don't know that, you can't fight for that. And if you can't fight for that, they'll keep the lie going. So I'm here to tell you, let's do this thing. Joy, thank you so much for all this. And to all my friends, Tommy John, all the people back there at RP, Status Quo, all my friends out there, let's get together. Let's make this thing happen. I'm out of here.